Welcome back to The Fight. I'm Jack Nolan, and joining us now, all the way from California, is the starting quarterback for the Fighting Irish, Ian Book. Ian, welcome to The Fight.
How's it going, Jack? Thanks for having me.
It's going great. My question is, how is it going for you? You go back to March, you have your first spring practice, then break comes in, and before you get back to break, campus is shut down before you have practice number 2. How are you dealing with no spring football and trying to figure out a way to prepare for next season?
Yeah, it's definitely weird during these uncertain times, but just trying to make the most of it. And, we had a great first spring practice. We were on spring break, and we ended up getting the call that, we had to go home. And it's just weird. And it's how we're living right now. And it's just about making the most of it and, just getting your body ready and your mind ready for when we do come back.
And I know you are staying in touches with your coaches and your teammates. The rest of us are living on Zoom. Are you guys Zooming?
We are Zooming as much as we can just to stay in touch and just hold everybody accountable during these times. We're meeting as quarterback groups 3 times a week. We're meeting as a full offensive unit once a week. And we're just installing like we would if we were back in South Bend.
Now, I know Coach Kelly has a presence in meetings. I host all of his shows. Very good communicator. How good is he on and with Zoom?
After the first day, he's gotten a lot better. The first day, he had some technical difficulties, but he's been doing great. He actually calls us every Wednesday, so looking forward to his call tomorrow and just checking in, trying to get as much information from him as we can. And he wants us back as well, so we're all in this thing together.
You've had Tommy Reese as your quarterback coach for a couple of seasons now. He's now the offensive coordinator. You're in the unusual situation of having both your position coach and coordinator kind of be almost a contemporary of yours. What's it like to be playing for Coach Reese?
It's great. Coach Reese is awesome. He's been there for me throughout my whole journey when he started as the quarterback's coach. And I can't speak highly enough for him. He's taught me everything. He's put me in the right positions. I know how much I believe in him and how confident I am that he can be a great play caller, which he will be. And when the whole team also feels that way, that's when something special is going to happen. And we all believe in him. We're all confident, and we can't wait for the season.
You also have the distinction now. You are a Notre Dame graduate. You have your degree. You probably thought your classes were at least about to take a break, but I understand that Coach Reese gives you 2 quizzes a week.
He does, keep us on our toes a little bit, make sure we're staying sharp. He would be testing us if we were back in South Bend. So just doing the same thing virtually and just making sure we're sharp. We're still installing like we would be. And, every day is still a day to learn. And that's what we're doing.
Whenever I interview you, I can't get you to talk about your own stats. So I'll do it. I want to remind the folks that you're coming off a heck of a season, 3,000 passing yards, 34 touchdowns against just 6 interceptions. But I think the stat that best puts last year into perspective is that you became the first Notre Dame quarterback with 2,500 passing yards, 500 rushing yards, and 30 touchdown passes in a single season. Nationally, only Jalen Hurts did that last season. So what is the next step for you this season?
I have a lot of personal goals, but honestly, the one that's stuck in my head is to win a national championship. That's what it comes to. I believe we can do it this year. We got a great team and a lot of guys that believe that we can do it. And it's never about me. All the success I've had is about the other guys on this team. And, they've helped me get to where I am. But we talk about graduating and winning a national championship. I've been able to graduate in December, and now I got to do what I got to do. We got to win a national championship.
And I know your entire starting offensive line returns. You're really close with those guys, but you're going to have to play with without a couple of guys who caught a lot of footballs for you last year. And your tight end and number 1 wide receiver. What are you looking for? Who's going to step into the shoes of guys like Cole Kmet?
Yeah, well, first off, I'm very happy for all those guys. As much as I wanted them all to come back because they've been so great for me and just for this whole entire offense, they've landed in great spots in the NFL where I believe they're going to have a lot of success. But it's the next man in mentality. That's college football. That's Notre Dame. We do a great job of recruiting the best players around the country. And, after what I've seen just in one spring practice that we did get, we got guys that are able to step up and that are going to have great years and, some some guys on the perimeters that can do a lot of things and make my job a lot easier, and some running backs, tight ends as well. It's going to be great.
You're the first quarterback on a Brian Kelly team to be named a captain. This will be your second season as a relatively rare two-time captain. What are the challenges involved in being a captain of the Notre Dame football team?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great honor. It's a huge goal of mine to be a captain last year, and to have the opportunity to be a captain again, be two-time captain under Coach Kelly would be a dream come true, and it's just something I take pride in. I want to be a leader on this team. I want the guys to believe in me, and they can lean on me whenever. And that's hard to do when you got to win games and play a hard schedule like we do. And it's about leading those guys and making sure everyone's confident and that we all have the same goal to go win a national championship. So again, another big goal of mine is to be another captain, and I just look forward to it.
I had mentioned Cole Kmet, but there's another guy I have to mention who you won't be playing with, but I know you learned a lot from in terms of toughness, and that's Chase Claypool. What did you learn from him, and how did he help you last year?
Yeah, Chase is a great friend of mine. He was actually, my roommate when we would go, home and away games and stay in the hotels. I've learned so much from him. He's just got an attitude that's different. He goes out there, he knows he's the best, he's confident. I've learned a lot of confidence things from him, and I'm just super excited for him. The Steelers are a great team. He's going to do great. Everyone's going to see that. But I'm going to miss him. He made my job a lot easier. Even when the pass, wasn't the best, he caught it, and he made my job a lot easier. But we got guys that are going to step up and do the same thing, and that's what it's about at Notre Dame is, recruiting those guys and having those guys come in that are ready to play and step up when their name is called.
I know you and your family are healthy, and that's terrific, but I also know that COVID-19 is hitting home for you. Your mom is a nurse. Your dad's retired. He's home, but your brother works in law enforcement. How are you dealing with members of your family really having to go out and expose themselves to this pandemic each day?
Right. First, I'm just so, thankful for them. They're out there putting their lives on the line and, putting other people first during this uncertain time. But yeah, my brother's in law enforcement. My mom's a nurse. They're out there every day fighting it. And, I'm here just thinking about them, hoping that they're safe and, that they come home. And they do a great job when they do come home, not talking about it and just, living the life, regular life that we were living. But, I bet when they're at work, I know how crazy it is for them. And I just can't thank them enough and all the other first responders.
I know everybody here on campus is working as if the season will begin as scheduled in Ireland against Navy, but we don't know what is going to happen. Have you thought a little bit about the various scenarios, and how are you dealing with the uncertainty of just what your final season is going to be in terms of will there be fans, won't there be fans, what the schedule will look like? Are you struggling with that, or is it just something that's out of your control?
Yeah, it's definitely weird. While I'm home, I do have a lot of time to think about it, and I try not to, but that's just the reality that, we're living in right now. And I just want to play, whether there's no fans or 100,000 fans. I want to be there, and I just want to play. And I know when I talk to all the guys on the team, they just want to play. We just want to have a season. But we understand you got to, safety first. We got to keep everybody safe. And we know that we'll be put into the right position, whatever that is. But I've thought about it a lot. I've thought about what it'd be like to run out of Notre Dame Stadium with no fans. But, I'm here to do it. It's my last season and I want to make the most of it.
And you made the decision to come to Notre Dame 5 years ago. The final chapter is not written. But as you head into this final season, you had to have an idea in your head when you made the decision to come here about what the experience would be like. Has it turned out to be what you thought it would be?
Oh, it's been amazing. That was by far the biggest decision of my life at that point, and it's exceeded everything that I thought it might be. I remember coming on campus and just feeling at home, and it has been home. It's been amazing. Football's been great. The relationships I've made have been unbelievable. The connections, the education I've got, it's all been. It feels like a dream. It is a dream come true. It's been something I wanted to do since I was in third grade and play college football at a great university, and nothing better than Notre Dame. And I am so glad that I made that decision.
We are too, Ian. Good luck with your continued workouts. Thank you for doing this. I know you're isolating, you're quarantining out there, but I'm seeing your face a lot. So even in quarantine, you cannot get away from the spotlight, and you handle it so very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Go
Ian
Irish.
Book, everybody.